Struggling to reconnect with an ex-girlfriend or ex-wife who seems completely unmovable? Despite everything you've tried, expressing your feelings, promising to change, and more, it feels like nothing works. But don't worry, there are ways to shift her perspective and reignite her desire to be with you. You can create a new dynamic that makes her see things differently, opening the door to getting her back. The first key to rekindling the spark with your ex is to stop chasing the relationship. This doesn't mean cutting off all contact or waiting for weeks to reconnect. Instead, it's about changing your energy and approach when interacting with her. The way you come across matters more than you might realize. One major factor to understand is the difference in how men and women react to this kind of behavior. Think of it this way. If you ended a relationship and the woman began pleading for another chance, promising to change and do everything to win you back, you might feel empowered. For many men, this kind of submission from a woman can be enticing, giving them a sense of control. It can even spark a renewed interest. However, this dynamic doesn't hold the same appeal for women. While some women may take back a man who begs and pleads, most are repelled by this behavior. Seeing a man emotionally vulnerable and desperate can erode their attraction and respect for him. It's a stark contrast to how men often react. In fact, the same rules apply whether you're trying to attract a new partner or win back an ex. When a man is overly eager to win a woman's approval, whether it's during the initial dating phase or after a breakup, she often loses interest or plays hard to get. But if the man is confident, sure of himself, and shifts the dynamic so that she feels lucky to win his approval, her attraction grows and she becomes more open to rekindling the relationship. The same holds true for relationships. A man who works too hard to prove himself to his partner can trigger a loss of respect and affection from her. She may treat him poorly, distance herself emotionally, or lose interest altogether. On the flip side, a man who exudes self-assurance and strengthens his partner's feelings of respect, love, and attraction will likely find her putting in effort to keep him interested. She'll be more loving, affectionate, and committed. When it comes to winning back an ex, this principle remains the same. If you try too hard, pleading and acting desperate, she will dig in her heels, refusing to reconsider the breakup. But if you project confidence, making her feel that losing you would be a mistake on her part, her stubbornness fades, and she becomes more open to reconciliation. This isn't about games or manipulation, it's about understanding natural instincts. Women are naturally drawn to men who display self-assurance and confidence. These traits make them feel secure and valued. On the other hand, insecurity and desperation often push women away. That's why guys who try too hard often face rejection, whether it's during dating, in relationships, or when attempting to get back with an ex. When a man hands over the power to a woman, letting her decide his fate, he often finds himself being rejected or left behind. It's not because women are difficult or want to make things hard. It's simply a matter of instinct. Women are less likely to reward insecurity with love, affection, or commitment. Instead, they are drawn to men who hold their own and make them feel as if the real loss would be in not getting back together. When trying to win back an ex, chasing the relationship by pouring out your feelings, pleading, and promising to change often works against you. This desperate behavior tends to turn women off because they lose respect for a man who appears emotionally weak. Instead of being attracted to you again, she becomes more stubborn in her decision to stay apart. So, what should you do? The key is to stop chasing and start believing in yourself. You need to believe that you're worthy of her, and this confidence will naturally change how you behave. You'll feel more at ease joking with her, teasing her, flirting, and even making moves like going for a kiss when you're face to face. By focusing on attracting her rather than pressuring her, you allow her to feel drawn back to you naturally. The second crucial tip is to rapidly improve yourself while giving her space. Cutting off all communication for an extended period, like 30 or 60 days, hoping she'll miss you isn't the answer. Some guys make the mistake of going silent, only for their ex to contact them later. But because they haven't made any changes, they turn her off again. When that happens, she's likely to pull away even more. Instead, during this time apart, focus on quickly enhancing your ability to attract her again. Some men can make noticeable changes in just a few days, others in a week or two. The timeline doesn't matter as much as the results. The point is not to wait too long, thinking she'll just wait around. She could move on, and you don't want to make things harder for yourself. If you've been emotionally sensitive and that turned her off, work on building your emotional resilience and confidence. If you took her for granted, it's time to become less self-centered, more giving, and more attentive. This doesn't mean you have to make grand gestures or change your entire personality overnight. Instead, focus on making sincere changes from within. Be genuinely more caring, loving, and attentive. Women can tell when you're faking change, just like you can tell when someone's pretending to care. It's essential to make these adjustments genuine. If she left because you weren't treating her well, acting like you've changed won't be enough. She'll likely see through it. How you think and feel on the inside reflects in your actions, and if your changes are real, she'll sense it. If a person is negative on the inside, it will inevitably show through their words, behavior, and actions. The same applies to someone who is positive. If you got dumped because you took your partner for granted, making meaningful internal changes is essential. When you genuinely become a more loving and emotionally balanced person, those changes will naturally reflect in your actions, and your ex will notice without you needing to convince her. If you're planning to give her space, don't just sit around waiting. During that time, focus on rapidly improving the traits that matter most to her. Identify what caused her to lose attraction and work on fixing those areas of yourself. You need to be prepared to interact with her in a way that reignites her attraction. For instance, if your emotional neediness was an issue, work on becoming emotionally independent. Emotional independence is the opposite of being needy. A needy person relies on a partner to feel validated and happy. An emotionally independent man, on the other hand, is confident and fulfilled regardless of whether his partner is showing affection or attention. Women find this incredibly attractive because they don't want the responsibility of managing your emotional well-being. They don't want to feel like they're taking care of a child or playing the role of a mother or big sister. What they seek in a man is someone who's forward-moving, confident, and happy with or without their validation. Another way to attract her back is by being bolder with your humor. Confidence in humor shows that you're self-assured and fun, two qualities that women tend to find magnetic. Additionally, you should aim to embody emotional masculinity rather than being emotionally neutral or feminine. Emotional neutrality often leads to a stagnant, dull relationship, where you treat your partner more like a friend than a romantic partner. This lack of spark can make the relationship feel bland and uninspiring. On the other hand, some men veer into emotional femininity, acting overly sensitive, sulking, or being too easily pushed around. While some women may enjoy dominating their partner, most are attracted to emotional masculinity, where the man takes the lead and exudes strength and emotional resilience. If your ex is being stubborn about getting back together, a critical strategy is to re-attract her in fresh, exciting ways. Using the same methods that initially attracted her, or worse, the behaviors that led to the breakup, won't work. You may have been very attractive to her at the beginning of the relationship, but lost your way along the line. To reignite her interest, it's crucial to remind yourself of what made you attractive in the first place and regain that spark. If you're using the same old approach to attraction that led to your breakup, it's time to step up and explore new, more interesting ways to reignite her interest. This shift can make her excited and motivated to give the relationship another shot. Tip 4. Let her feel in control. When trying to win her back, focus on attraction without pushing for a relationship. Make her feel drawn to you again, but allow her to believe that getting back together is her decision. She'll want to explore the new emotions she's experiencing around you and won't want to regret letting you slip away before seeing what could happen. It's crucial to maintain composure during this time. Even if she starts showing interest, resist the urge to push for a relationship immediately. Let her come to the conclusion that she wants the relationship on her own. If you rush or revert to old behaviors, her guard will go up, and the same issues might resurface. Instead, make her feel that the relationship is something she genuinely desires, as if it's her idea. Behind the scenes, you're in control by sparking her attraction, making her feel drawn to you again. A common mistake men make when trying to win back a stubborn ex is to bend over backward, doing whatever she demands. Some men will follow her every instruction, hoping this will earn her affection, but it usually results in the opposite. She won't be impressed by a man who seems desperate and is constantly trying to appease her. Women don't reward desperation, neediness, or insecurity with love, affection, and devotion. Women are drawn to a man who believes in himself, one who exudes natural confidence and isn't afraid to joke around, flirt, or be charming. If your ex has been treating you poorly, it's important to regain the upper hand. Instead of seeking validation by overly accommodating her, shift the dynamic so she treats you with respect. You can do this with some bold humor and by standing your ground in a lighthearted yet assertive way. For instance, if your ex tells you she'll only meet up for 10 minutes, You can respond playfully by saying something like, "All right, little Miss Demanding, we'll meet for 10 minutes and then we won't talk again after that." Then, during the meeting, focus on making her laugh and enjoy the moment. When the 10 minutes are up, jokingly say, "All right, time's up, no more talking." This confident and playful approach will make her realize that she enjoys being around you, ultimately shifting the dynamic back in your favor. When trying to win back a stubborn ex, it's crucial to maintain confidence and composure, even in moments where she may test you. If, for example, she gets up and leaves during a playful interaction, you shouldn't panic. Women who display feistiness in these moments respect a man who doesn't run after them or apologize profusely. Instead, they're attracted to men who maintain their confidence and don't cater to their emotional tests. This type of behavior reinforces their respect and attraction toward you, especially if you don't pander or show desperation. Most women will likely laugh off a playful remark, but some may take the challenge and walk out. In those cases, don't chase after her. Women like this respect men who aren't fazed by their actions and can hold their ground. So, instead of trying harder to be overly nice, polite, or accommodating, regain your power by using bold humor and confidence. This doesn't mean being mean or disrespectful, but it does mean not falling into a position where you're trying to please her every whim. When you reclaim this sense of power, it shifts the dynamic. Instead of bending over backward to gain her favor, you focus on reigniting her attraction to you. By doing so, she starts to see you as someone who deserves respect and admiration. One mistake men make when dealing with a stubborn ex is thinking that treating her even better, being more patient, or giving in to all her demands will win her back. This only results in her losing respect for you. Instead, you need to turn the tables by making her feel attracted to you again. When you use playful humor and maintain a confident demeanor, you subtly assert dominance in a loving way, which makes her naturally respect and feel drawn to you again. For example, if she says you can only meet for 10 minutes, jokingly agree, but follow through with a playful response after those 10 minutes like, "All right, time's up, get out of here, we're not speaking again." This kind of humor puts you in control without being overbearing, and it showcases your confidence, making her want to spend more time with you. Final point, focus on attraction. If your ex is being stubborn, don't think that begging, pleading, or writing heartfelt messages will change her mind. What works is triggering feelings of sexual and romantic attraction. When you approach her in new and exciting ways, she becomes curious and drawn to you. This makes her want to explore these new feelings and possibly give you another chance, but from a place of attraction rather than obligation. She'll start to feel that if she doesn't try to get back together, she might regret it, thinking of you as the one who got away. This feeling of potential loss will motivate her to reconnect with you, and it becomes less about you convincing her and more about her wanting to be with you for her own reasons. By sparking new feelings of attraction, you allow her to open up and desire you again. Rather than pursuing her endlessly, focus on reigniting her interest in a way that makes her feel like the relationship is her idea. This approach works because it's rooted in how attraction operates. Women respond to men who make them feel a range of emotions, including desire, curiosity, and excitement. In the end, she will feel that giving the relationship another shot is something she wants because you've made her feel attracted to you in fresh and compelling ways. This positions you as the prize, and she will naturally open back up to the possibility of being together again.